This is my video for the 2-gun action challenge match held February 18th, 2023. This is my first match using the Beretta 92X Performance. I have a Steiner MPS red dot mounted. The first target required 3 hits. From this position, there are 2 poppers available. From this final position with handgun here, I have to kneel down and shoot underneath the no-shoot and neutralize that plate rack. The first several rounds are actually going through the stick of the no-shoot target. I adjust and move over and then make the hits. I will be doing a review on the 92X Performance on InRange in the future following Handgun Brutality this year. The pistol is safely grounded and it's time to run up range and engage the rifle target from several different positions. The rifle is not treated as a 180 violation until it is loaded at that box. From each position, the shooter has to get 1 hit, standing, kneeling, and prone. I'm going to go all the way across the range and then come back. I am using my WWSD rifle in Woodland Cerakote by Pro2 Customs. The optics are a SIG Romeo 4 XT Pro and Juliet 4 magnifier. I'm going to end up not using the magnifier at all during this match. Note that I save time by keeping the rifle on target while transitioning from standing to kneeling. I do have to break the rifle off my shoulder to go prone and then get back into position. I'm not using a bipod, even though I have one with me, because using the bipod at a close range like this, while the range is actually tapered down towards the targets, generally isn't worth it to have that extra weight swinging around on the front of the forend. I do a pretty good job on this run of making sure every shot counts and stabilizing just enough before I send the rounds. But the further you get into a stage like this with a lot of body position changes, the harder it is to stay stable towards the end of the course. The match wasn't full for a change, so this gave me the opportunity to do a second run with my KP9. I have the lead and steel Promethean red dot mounted on it for this match. The type of shooting challenge presented here is always going to be easier with a long gun than a handgun. I'm not required to, but I clear the PCC before retreating up range just to be on the safe side. I'm going to fumble my reload from this position because the magazine is in my pouch backwards, and you see I have to rotate it around. That's one of the difficulties of running 2 different runs at a match like this, is staying on top of how you're preparing your equipment for both runs. I'm going to be doing my PCC run as my second run on all the stages. That means I'm generally going to be more tired while doing the PCC run on all of them, but you're still going to see that all the time on these stages, because they're so close range, the PCC is always going to be faster than using 2 guns. I should also mention that I have a Juliet 4-power magnifier mounted on this PCC as well, but I end up not using it at the match either, just like I don't use the 4-power magnifier on my rifle. I've mentioned it before on other videos, but note when I go prone, I'm using my hand around the magwell to support the rifle so that it is high enough to shoot these targets positioned at the back of the bay. This range does have a slightly downward slope that if you try to support on your forend, you're going to have to get much lower to the ground, which for me really isn't possible wearing all of this gear. You can see I'm second PCC and third armored on this stage. My PCC run is about 12 seconds faster than my armored run. This stage requires that the shooter declare they shoot their rifle with one hand and their pistol with the opposite hand. Thus, I am shooting my rifle right-handed because shooting my handgun is always easier with my dominant hand. I will note that when I get into position for this kneeling position here, I should have had my left leg up rather than my right. I was doing it as if I was shooting from my left shoulder, but I make it work. There are a lot of things that change when you're using a long gun, body position-wise, that you really need to think through, and I didn't think through doing that before I was on the stage. Relatively quick transition because my rifle's already in my support hand. I have to hit these plates from above the table, and then the poppers from below the table. It's a bit less stable shooting canted and hunched over, but I get the job done. PCC run, I'm doing the opposite. I'm shooting off my strong side shoulder because when I get up close, shooting off my support side shoulder is going to be a lot easier. I will note that the barrel and stair props on the stage description only said that you had to shoot over top of them. So I don't need the support. If you can make these shots unsupported, it's going to be a lot faster than getting into position. I switch shoulders to my right as I advance up here, and engaging all these steel with the PCC is going to be very easy. I do decide to go fully prone rather than try to hunch over and shoot these targets with the PCC. I am first PCC and first armored on this stage, but you can see I'm about 9 seconds faster with the PCC than using two different guns. On this stage, the shooter has to get 2 hits on a full-size IPSC steel and 1 hit on a Q target at about 80 to 90 yards away. Move over to this position and neutralize 1 paper target. This process is going to repeat back and forth until the shooter has all 3 paper targets neutralized. If you want to go kneeling or prone for those further shots, you can, but as you can see, for me, it's a waste of time. Better to take these shots standing, even if I have a couple misses from trying to rush here, than go prone and waste the time going prone and getting back up. One final iteration from this position, then I have to advance to the next hula hoop and do it again. I misunderstood the stage description, and this final red hula hoop coming up, you're actually supposed to shoot with your rifle first, engaging the targets again, then get 1 hit each on the targets with your pistol. I think I'm just supposed to switch to my pistol, and the ROs don't realize what I'm doing until I already do it.
Rifle first.
Split second of thinking through what I need to do on the stage there, because at many other match venues, you cannot reholster a pistol once drawn on the clock. But at 2 GACM, you can. If you do need to hot reholster, make sure you don't do it in a rushed manner, causing yourself to ND. To hit these steel targets at this distance, I just need to hold slightly high. It's really not a big deal. I use a 50-yard zero on my PCCs. I do send an extra round sometimes while shooting the paper targets because I have more sight picture disruption due to the reciprocating mass of the PCC than in the 5.56 rifle. With both runs, I'm pretty happy with my ability to get hits standing, particularly on the smaller Q size target. Reload on the move up because I'm going to have to fire more rounds out of the PCC than I'd had to with my rifle. From the final position, it's going to be 3 hits on the big target, 2 hits on the small target. Clearly someone had a scoring error on this stage because there's no way to do it in 14 seconds. But I am first in PCC and first in Armored Division, my PCC run being about 11 seconds faster than my Armored run. In the end, I am first in Armored Division and the highest placing 2-gun competitor, and I am second in PCC Division, with a net time of about 33 seconds difference between my PCC run and my Armored Division run. If you like this kind of in-depth match analysis, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and always remember, the Second Amendment is for everyone.